devices. Slide it up.
Board wheel. That's the thing.
Keep evolving.
Hey everybody, welcome to another, I suppose, a Patreon Drive fundraiser for the month of October. This is technically our first one, and I didn't want to miss a week. It's just me and Kate today. Hi, Kate.
Hello.
Can you guess where I am at?
You're in a charging station.
I'm at a charging station. I'm not in a charging station. That would be kind of...
That would be uncomfortable.
That would not be great. So I am in Panoche in California, in sunny California. It's kind of warm here. There are flies everywhere, so forgive me if I keep kind of swatting the air. And as you can see from this one right here, I am at a Rivian Adventure Network charging station. This is Orion. This is my wife's 2017 Chevrolet Bolt EV. Do you know where I'm heading?
Well, I know where you're heading. I mean, I don't know.
You can
the place.
share it. Yeah, you can share it.
Well,
Obviously, don't share my location right. Well, I've just shared my
You've
location.
just shared your location right now.
Don't say the hotel I'm going to. How about that? I'm going to...
I don't know that, but I know what event you're going to. I can't.
It's actually in the company calendar. I think it's in the company calendar because I normally share my inventory. But we are on our way.
Yeah.
Go on.
The Bolt is a big hint.
The Bolt is a big hint. So normally when we do a long distance road trip, as you know, we would take our 2023 Ford F-150 Lightning. That vehicle is better suited to road trips. It's more comfortable. It can store more things. It can cover longer distances per charge. It charges more rapidly on the road. And also, it's got plug-on charge. So it, turn up, plug in, and off you go. But we are going down to LA because LA this week, we're going to the new Bolt reveal event. As Zach noted, new Bolt time. Yeah, we're going to see the reveal of the new Bolt. Now, I want to be really clear to people about expectations for this. First thing is, we've been invited down by General Motors. General Motors put us up in a lovely hotel last night. It had a fully fitted out gym. I went there this morning and did my weight day. I didn't do the squat thrusts though because of my blood pressure and heart medication issues. If I go flat on the ground and then try and do a squat thrust and jump up, sometimes I get a little dizzy, and I didn't want to do that in a gym. So I did just weights today. They had valet parking, so I got a full charge overnight, and we left a full charge this morning about 8 o'clock from our hotel in Sacramento. We've just been driving since. So we've gone all the way from Sacramento to Panoche Road. I'm not sure which city this is in. It's just literally on the I-5 in the middle of nowhere. But you will know it, Kate. If I say it's the place with the old restaurant that has urbexing opportunity.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I know that one.
That one.
So
and
there's
now,
a bunch of Rivian chargers in there. That's
so
nice.
at this location, literally not quite within cat chuckable distance, and I'm not an advocate of cat throwing, but you could literally walk from here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is there 7? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, there are 7 Rivian Adventure Network fast chargers here. And then the other side, so there's a gas station here, a ExxonMobil gas station. That's where the Rivian chargers are. Then behind me, there's a Shell gas station. And in the parking lot for the Shell gas station, there are some EA chargers, many of them.
Is that where we used to charge for the EA? Yeah, it was the EA.
It was the EA.
Okay.
And then across the road, literally across the road, is a massive Tesla supercharger site.
I mean, I think this is something that is really apparent, that if you have significant uptake of EVs, then the networks get built out. Like,
Yes.
it's annoying because there's often quite a lot of lag between, like, oh, there's suddenly a lot of demand for EV charging here, to, yes, now we have it. But this whole, like, argument about the infrastructure isn't there to a degree, yeah, that's definitely true. And particularly, we should have more charging, low speed charging at workplaces and at apartment complexes and all those things. But the rapid charging network, because most people don't need rapid charging all the time, it will get built out. It will happen.
That's a really terrible joke.
I'm ignoring that.
That's a really terrible joke. Sorry, if I was looking distracted, it's because Vi just came back from getting some protein. Vi doesn't eat on trips. No, I'm good, thank you. Vi doesn't eat normal meals on trips, just kind of snacks on protein and very, very lean, mean EV machine. There's a Rivian that's just turned up, a Rivian R1S with a very nice looking full suspension bike on the back. It's been... So my trips thus far, we were invited down by GM, and I found myself going, wouldn't it be nice if we could bring our 2017 Chevrolet Bolt EV with Comma? It's got a Comma system fitted. It's running Frog Pilot. So it's got that semi-autonomous driver assistance features. We've now got a NACS adapter. Wouldn't it be fun to drive this old Bolt down to the new Bolt reveal event? And unfortunately, while GM loved the idea, we're not going to be able to get both cars side by side. But I figured, if there was any point at which we can discuss the drivability and the usability of what is now an 8-year-old car that you can get, used on whichever marketplace you want to be looking on, for anywhere as low as sort of $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, and that's as low as I've seen them in some places. A more sort of sensible price, or a more normal price, is about $10,000. And could you drive, 1,000 miles in 2 days using an 8-year-old EV with 50 kilowatt maximum charging? And what would the experience be like? Now, we've done this trip before in a Bolt. In fact, I am at the very location. If you remember, Kate, I think it was 2018 or 2019, I came down for an event in LA. I was given an award by Plug in America, and I decided to drive my Bolt down there. Drove down in 2 days, drove back in 2 days, but I got to this location, and unfortunately, there were no fast chargers here I could use because the Electrify America charging stations had all been decommissioned while they did some work here. And obviously, NACS wasn't available to me at that point. And I ended up staying, there's a very, very cheap hotel just over the way. And I managed to beg a 110 volt outlet for the night. And I think it was like $100 for the room. I begged a 110 volt outlet for the night, which was enough to get me just enough charge the next morning to drive cross country on low speed roads to a fast charger that then allowed me to make my way to San Francisco, because I was going back via San Francisco. And it was this very location. So I'm very familiar with this site. That's the RAN in Fire Bar, California. Is it Bar or Borg? Fireborg or Fire Bar in California? Yes, that's where I'm at. So, I mean, it's been a fun trip so far, Kate. And I'm afraid, I have used superchargers some of the trip.
And sometimes it's just a case of that's where the chargers are. Like when I was in England, I had to use them last time. Well, not last time, because last time I just used public transit and trains, and it was very pleasant. But the time before that.
So our first charging station, we stopped in a place. So we left the house up in the mountains. We left about, I think it was about 8:30 we actually left the house, and then I stopped in my local town. I nearly said the name of my local town. That would have self-doxed me. And I picked up a coffee. There's a lovely little coffee shop there that I picked up a coffee at. And then we drove all the way to, what's it called? Sutherland, where they have an Electrify America set of chargers that we normally use. And then they have a huge tranche, like 51 Tesla superchargers. And again, they're within like spitting distance of each other. All of the EA stations were occupied. I think one was not working, the rest were occupied. So we did go and use the Tesla supercharger there. We had one person come up who was very bemused about the fact that we were charging a Bolt at a Tesla supercharger. And I think they thought we were stealing electricity, the way they asked the question. Well, how do you get to do that and do the payment for that? We go, just use the app. They were genuinely confused. They weren't being aggressive about it. They were just confused. And then the next stop we went to Medford in Oregon, and we stopped there, and that was a Tesla charger as well. Again, it was just because that was the best place for us to stop on this trip based on where we were going. And then the next charging station we stopped at in Wairika or Reka, I don't know. People have told me it's pronounced both ways, and now I'm very confused. But there was a gas station there, and I told you about this in stand-up this morning. Mm-hmm. Guess what the requirements were to use that?
Oh, well, it's an isolated charger on a separate network. So you probably need to sign up 6 weeks ahead of time and get an RFID card mailed to you, having provided proof of EV ownership.
Right. It's part of a charging network that's only done. It's only available in California. It's was provided through some, I think, state funds, maybe some federal funds, but definitely state funding. And it's called SkyDrive. And you literally rock up at the charging station. They're all 300 kilowatt chargers. You rock up, you plug in, and then guess what you do? You reach for your wallet or your smartphone or your smartwatch, and you just tap to pay. And it took less than a minute from me pulling up to being charging. In fact, less than 30 seconds. You pull up, you stop, you tap your thing, and then you're done. It was beautiful.
Yes, I mean, that is broadly how it should be.
Shouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just... Anyway. So, and then the last stop of the day, we did stop at the world's worst Tesla supercharger. I have not been eating a lot lately. Some of you may notice I'm on a diet. I'm not taking any medication or anything, but I'm working hard to lose some weight. And so I just had like a protein bar, I think, and something else during the day. But we stopped, and I was like, it's a Tesla supercharger. There's got to be food around here. The food options were as follows. A Denny's, not Denny's, the next one. So there were basically two of the chain sit down, will give you 10 million calories in a meal and charge you very little money for it. Then there was a Chinese restaurant that didn't look great. And there was a Subway about a half mile away, and I didn't want to go to Subway. There was a Mexican food truck that I probably would have stopped at if I wasn't traveling another couple of 100 miles the next day. So I went to a chicken place at a gas station, and I will not be going back. It was terrible and disgusting. And we ate we shared a one-person meal, and I think we got about halfway through it and threw it away.
Oh, no.
My appetite is very low these days, so that's quite nice for long-distance trips because I don't have to worry about it. We've got some questions from the chat. Apparently it's Firebar. Thank you, anonymous freak, who is a Rivian owner. So I'm going to say yes. I hope you get to use that NACS adapter on a non-NACS dispenser. Yeah, I hope we do too. So we used them 3 times yesterday. We stopped a total of 4 times to do 600 miles, which is bang on, really, where I thought we were going to be. Yeah. We arrived at the hotel with like 20% or something, maybe a little less. The valet parking took care of it, and it was fully charged at 7:30 this morning, just as we were ready to leave. So that was like perfect. The only money I had to spend at the hotel was on the valet. I gave them a tip, and I did not buy the $31 intimacy kit that was available in the hotel room.
It's very specific that you tell me that.
I just think it's really funny. I was joking about it with the lovely lady on checkout, who was very enamored by the fact that I had met Idris Elba, because she said I had a very, very British accent, and then she talked about Idris Elba, and I went, "Oh yeah, I've met him. It's lovely."
You know, you're not helping with the idea that all British people know everyone in Britain.
I mean, I met him in America at the Mark E event, so take from that what you will.
You know, I also know several women who will be extremely jealous of you at this moment.
She said, "Oh, he's got such a lovely voice." I said, "I think you mean he's a hunk of meat and gorgeous." And she said, "Yeah, that's pretty close." The objectification there.
Yeah, a little bit of objectification there, but that's fine.
No, the way she was describing him, she was definitely objecting him. I just helped her out on that way. So anyway, we had a good trip first day. So I will note that we've been using the NACS adapter, one of the many NACS adapters that we have access to here at TE, and they get hot.
Yeah, they do get warm.
Obviously, the charging cable doesn't because they're liquid cooled, but the actual thing itself got very hot. And
yeah, but the handle doesn't get cooled. That's the thing, because the NACS connector doesn't have room for liquid cooling in the handle.
Can we just give Tesla a shout out? And I know that, disclaimer, I think Elon Musk is a fascist Nazi who has done some really nasty things for humanity in the last 2 years of his existence to this point. I don't want to say the last 2 years of his existence, but in the last 2 years, he's done some really horrible things and kind of pushed humanity backwards rather than forwards. But let's give Tesla, the company, separate from Elon Musk, its due. Because at some of the superchargers we stopped at, we noticed that in the accessible bays, they had a supplemental handle so that you could do two-handed operation of the cable.
Oh, that's cool.
And they had a good grip service.
It'd be nice if they had strain relief as well, so that you didn't need the two hands.
Yes. But I mean, that's a start in the right direction, right?
I am not being like, oh, they should have done better.
No.
It's a good start. I would like to see more. Yes, and.
Yes, and is the perfect way of discussing that, yeah. Have you updated the NACS adapter to the certified one? Yeah, the one we have, I think we have one that's a pre-production still wandering around that nobody on the staff uses. Vi uses the Ford one, because I got two Ford ones. So Vi is using one of the Ford ones. And I think the one we've got in the car right now is the A to Z one. The A to Z with the single connector, the single button, as opposed to the earlier one, which is the non-certified one, which has the two buttons that they recalled. But yeah, so far so good. It's been pretty good. What have you been up to, Kate?
For work? Is that the question? Yesterday?
Well, you've been busy at TE, but you've not been making videos, other than your excellent video last week, by the way.
Yes.
The acting skills in that,
I know, it's amazing. You'd think I went to RADA, but no. And my accent, coach, really exceptional.
I personally thought that the television announcer was on point.
That is true. The television announcer was exceptional. So yesterday I spent the day in the garage doing some work on Rebecca. I realized that it's been 3 years since I actually did work on Rebecca, which is what I worked out yesterday. In which case, let's remind people who Rebecca is. I mean, everyone knows Rebecca. I know who Rebecca is. Rebecca is not, in fact, some person that I have trapped in the garage, changed. Or not your answer to Elon Musk's, what do they call them? Oh, the robot thing
Robot,
that's
yeah.
actually driven
Optimus.
by a human? Yeah,
Yes.
that one. So, no, Rebecca is my 1969 Morris Minor that I've had since I was about 13. And I started an
10
EV
years then.
conversion. Yeah, about 10 years. I started an EV conversion some time ago, and then work, and then I had some surgery, and then more work, and more work. And we've said for a while that, you know, when we had a gap, I would go out and use some of my TE work time to go start looking at that project again. So I went out yesterday and I did some things, and there will be a video coming, and I hope there are some electronic engineers who can help. Let's
Yes.
say that.
Yes.
Because my skills, as I will probably reiterate in the video, for like tech repair are generally, is it smoking? That's bad. Is it charcoal already? Also bad. Is it falling off? Bad. Or, is it leaking capacitor goo everywhere? Also bad. I can fix those things, and I can put a test point, like if I have a set of instructions, I can put in a scope on at test points and go, yes, that's the right shape, or no, that's not the right shape. Yeah.
And as Anonymous Freak says, it's almost as if there was some other major event that made your other work super busy over the last few years. Yeah, I mean,
There's been...
work has been difficult both in and out of TE. Let's leave it at that.
I think for me, actually, and I've said this before, like I work in a rural hospital, and actually the people there, while conservative, also don't like talking to other people. That's why they live out in the middle of nowhere. And so for much of COVID, like there were terrible pieces, but there were pieces that were fine. And actually, like for quite long stints of time, I was just like, well, this is the quietest the department's been, because people were not going to see each other and they were actually staying socially distant, and that stuff was working. And then they got vaccinated and that stuff was working. Now, not so good. But yes, yeah, it didn't let magic smoke out. That's the thing. So there is more content in the video that will be coming. At least I assume there is. I have like 3 years worth of random bits of video of me doing stuff, which I have to look through today and work out, make a coherent video from. But the long and the short of it is, it has died on the desk.
Yeah, and it's not good.
It doesn't even power on. So if anyone has like a good guide to fault finding, specifically the Auris Yaris open inverter board, that would be super handy. And it needs to be like a guide at the level of, look at this test point, see what's going on there. Okay, try this. Not, cleverer than that. Because
to be fair, you do have access. Do you have a scope?
I have
a good scope. It's a good quality scope.
I have a nice little scope. I'm not sure I'd go as far as a good quality scope, but it's perfectly adequate for this sort of thing. I have a reasonably accurate meter. I have like rework gear, because I can have reworked boards in the past, and reasonably successfully. Like my Acorn A4, I need to take apart again because I didn't get all the capacitor goo off. That is apparently why it has the problems it does. But it does actually work, which it didn't when it arrived. It just pauses every few seconds for like a second or two. And apparently that's really common for them when they've had a capacitor leak, and you just have to keep bathing it in isopropyl and then distilled water, and eventually you get all the capacitor goo off. So I can fix things, but like that was a job where I was literally going through and replacing every capacitor on the board, and I could do that.
It's unfortunate because this is the second video in a row where you've had poor electronics luck.
I know, and I was so excited yesterday. Like I didn't, because I'm gonna just dub it, because when you've got 3 years worth of video, there's not a lot of point in me trying to find like the 30 seconds of me talking about what I'm doing. I'm just going to dub it. So I didn't record it yesterday, but it may well be visible on my face that my mood goes from, all right, we're going to test this, to it's not coming on. Okay,
Oh, no.
not sure what's going on. Okay, let's take it apart and look. Oh, it's dead.
Yeah, it's dead.
So
that's not necessarily the good vibe you want. Talking of which, I don't think we've mentioned the name of the person that we've sent your comma to. Have we? Have we mentioned that publicly?
No, we haven't said anything about Colin.
So let's...
Colin? No.
Colin.
Yes, Colin.
Let's just leave it at Colin. We're not going to say any more than that. There's a guy called Colin.
So many Collins.
That we have sent your comma unit to. Has he had a chance to look at it yet?
I have not heard anything yet.
Okay. Colin is a very busy chap, so hopefully Colin will be able to get back to us and tell us whether it's fixable or not.
Yeah.
And we've given Colin... I knew Anonymous Freak would know who Colin is, and I suspect that Steve's Retro Loft knows who Colin is. But let's just leave it at that. But we've sent it to Colin, and Colin has said, if it's fixable, I'll make a video and we'll do a little crossover. And somebody else is saying Colin first. Colin first. That would be fun. That would be fun.
I would like my car to please be usable.
As a side,
I do love Colin.
As a side, if I think more collie furs would be the correct thing for me, because I am a collie fur. So for those who are interested, just as a kind of a sit rep on my charging session, our charging speed has dropped down to about 25 kilowatts now, which means we're probably getting pretty close to like 70, 80% full. We have put, 36 kilowatts is charging speed. We have put 25.8 kilowatt hours in right now, and I've paid $60.23 so far, which is pretty good. Pretty good. The charging experiences here have been lovely. It's been so wonderful to rock up, and I'm not going to lie, it's been fun not using an EA. Every EA station I've used in the last sort of 3 or 4 years has worked, or the site has worked. How about that? I've been able to turn up at an EA and get it to transfer power to a vehicle. It's not always been very quick, and it's not always been on first try. Interestingly, here for the RAN, the Rivian Adventure Network, because someone mentioned it earlier, if you are in a Bolt EV and you're using the Rivian Adventure Network, you may have to do the old school bolt lift trick, if you know what that is, which is hold the connector up to make sure that it starts charging. Because the first time I plugged in, the cable drooped down and it didn't actually detect that there was a car attached. So you just bear in mind, once I realized that's what it was, it worked.
We should make a short about that, actually.
The bolt lift, yeah.
Yeah.
I've had to do it on...
What was that? We had to do it on one of the cars we reviewed recently, and I can't remember what it was.
No, I can't remember.
I whined about it in the video when we were reviewing it, because like I pulled up and I was like, look, it's 2025. I should not have to lift the power connector up to get the charging to start.
It's also known as the i3 lift.
Huh. I didn't have any problems with my i3 doing that, but there we go.
I would say that I have had some issues with my Ford Charge Station Pro at the house. I know that is shocking, because this is what, our 4th or 5th unit now. I keep getting random messages from it going, there was an error with charging. Charging has stopped. I'm like, charging is so far away. Like, it's finished charging. It finished charging a day ago. I don't know why you're now telling me there's an issue. So I suspect it's got something to do with insects getting inside, because it's that time of year and stink bugs like warm places. Did I mention last week about my stink bug problem with my truck? So we were running some errands that required the truck instead of the Bolt. We came back to the house. We opened the charge port door, and I have this 3D printed thing that goes on the outside of the truck to try and discourage stink bugs from going inside. Opened the door, and there was a stink bug inside the charge port door. Flicked it away, put the cap over, got the charge, the CCS charger. So the home integration system has a CCS inlet, even though it doesn't use traditional CCS. It uses the CCS bottom 2 pins to pull power out if you have a power cut. Pulled it off the wall, plugged it into the truck, walked inside. A few minutes later, I got an error message from the truck saying there's been a problem with charging. It's like, uh-oh. I walked outside, I got within like a few feet of the truck, and I could smell what the problem was. Check your charge ports for stink bugs, people, because getting an exploded stink bug out of your charge port is disgusting. I had to go inside, and because I am a fursuiter and I have these little handy dandy pre-mixed bottles of 90% alcohol with water, which is what you use to spray down your fursuit after you've been fursuiting and you're all hot and sweaty. You spray that down to get rid of any bacteria growth from a hot, sweaty costume. I went outside and I sprayed that in. I figured alcohol would be okay around the contacts, sprayed it, got the remains of the stink bug out of the charge inlet, and did the same with the charge handle, and then if you do not know what a stink bug is, just be glad you do not live in on the west coast of the United States and Canada. They are about yay big. Sometimes they can be a bit bigger. And they're like a shield bug. And if you startle them, they release this very strong coriander smell or cilantro smell that just gets on everything and you cannot wash it off. Like if you get stink bugged, you can you can stink for weeks, right? It's really horrible. One of my dogs tried to eat one once and instantly regretted it. If you're careful, you can flick them away without causing them to release anything. Mini skunks. They're basically skunks that fly, and they have that same kind of, you cannot get the smell off. And if you squish one, they end up releasing their spray, and of course plugging in a charge port with a stink bug on it. There were some last night in Sacramento as well. We had to be quite careful with that as well. But other than that, things are going well. And just for those who... Oh, we have them in the East as well, apparently, Tom says. Thank you. Are you back off? Yeah. Vi's off for another trip. I guess we're charging further than a better route planner. That's the other thing I want to talk about. Have you used a better route planner lately, Kate?
No, not really. I haven't really been anywhere where I require it. I stay at home.
So a better route planner, which is now owned by Rivian, is amazing now. I think we had one weird thing where it tried to divert us on the I-5 yesterday around Salem because it saw a slowdown in traffic. Yeah. But it's been really reliable. It gives you real-time data about availability of charging stations. If you have an onboard diagnostic Bluetooth dongle thing, you can plug that in and it works.
Yeah.
And then it's just been very accurate on consumption. So we're averaging 3.7, 3.8 miles per kilowatt hour. It is telling me when to charge. So this charging stop while I'm doing the live stream is different because normally we'd be on our way by now. We're driving down to like 10%, plugging in, charging up to like between 60 and 70% and then going off. Sometimes we're only charging up as much as 50, driving another 100 miles, stopping and charging. And that's allowed us to keep the momentum up. And I genuinely think we've been about as quick as we would have been in the F-150. Which for a car that has a maximum charge rate of 50 kilowatts is just bonkers.
One of these days we should do a challenge, you know.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun. Do people think that would be fun in the chat? Tell us if you think that would be fun.
I think that would be fun. We have a receipt. What's going on here?
I don't know. We'll find a cheap hotel for us to aim to for a night and we'll go out and back. Something like that.
Anonymous Freak says, in my area, we have stink bugs and box elder bugs, which look nearly identical, which don't stink. Yeah, we have box elder bugs. In fact, on the poll that you sometimes see in the Chicken and Garden update, it's just a sea of box elder bugs and stink bugs. I don't mind the box elder bugs. They do it. Live chat with TE Team Priceless. Well, you can catch us every Tuesday. We've been trying to do this every Tuesday. What are we going to do next Tuesday, Kate?
Wow, you tell me.
We'll have to do a live stream if you're up for it. We'll have to do a live stream after you're done. Maybe after you're done filming. Maybe. Or Monday.
Hang on, what?
So next Tuesday, you and I are going to be in the same place.
Yeah, we could do an in-person twin live stream.
That would be fun.
Yeah, then
Maybe
I can
do it
mock
even
you
in the
person.
studio. Maybe we could do it in the studio and get our proper lights up. So the purpose behind these live streams, and do let us know if you want us to continue doing them after we end October. I think we've got into a good kind of vibe. I like doing these now. Mm-hmm. So our live stream during the month of September and October are to try and promote people to join up and become Patreon team supporters, and you will get a wonderful piece of art by the wonderful Erin, and this is a sneaky peeky. That's a Vi hand and a camera.
Have we got a non-groin sneaky peeky?
We haven't got any more non-groin. We've got this one, which obviously that is Ortega's. It's a great piece of artwork. It's been finished. It's on our company, not a Dropbox. We don't use Dropbox, but we have a not a company Dropbox, which is basically self-hosted. And it's been really good to see it happen. And you can get that for free if you join up in September or October, or in fact, if you are a Patreon supporter during September and October. But the reason we're doing this is that YouTube, I mean, look, last week, YouTube paid the president how much?
I don't know. I don't really pay attention to the Orange Idiot.
Yes. So the president sued YouTube, and YouTube paid the president a ridiculously large amount of money. And we saw that and went, that's interesting. And YouTube paid a lot of money to the Trump administration so that it wouldn't sue YouTube. And YouTube has been quietly silencing diverse creators. And unfortunately, or fortunately, we do come under the diverse creator box.
You have to swear fealty to your great master now.
Yes, it's 25 million. It's 25 million that YouTube paid, or 20 million. There's conflicting reports here.
It's the second worst investment since Elon Musk bought Twitter.
Yeah. Anyway, we're not making any money on YouTube. So like a couple of years ago, and I don't mind admitting this now, like a couple of years ago when we had Winter and we had Katie and we had Vi and you and me and Erin, we were bringing in about $8,000 a month from YouTube ad revenue. And we weren't even trying. That was just the amount of money made from 1 or 2 ads per video. Our view counts hasn't really, they have dropped a little, but they haven't dropped enough to reflect that now we're bringing in about $800 to $1,000 a month of YouTube ad revenue.
It's interesting because our subscriber count has gone up, but our view count has dropped a bit. But I think that's just a reflection of the sheer quantity of content. Like I don't watch near as much of anything.
If you watch Jeff Geerling and a couple of other YouTubers in the tech space, they're all saying the same thing, which is they are having the same thing. Their view counts are going down. Their likes are going up. Same for us. Likes are going up. We're getting like 98, 99% on a lot of our videos, like ratio, right? We're getting a lot of people watching through until the end, but YouTube isn't putting high value ads on our videos. So YouTube ad revenue, it was very common 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago to see videos get an ad rate of between $15 and $30 per melee, so per 1,000 views, $15 to $30 per click or per ad. And that meant, a video on our channel we could make quite easily $1,000 off one video on our YouTube channel in the course of a month. Now it's under that for the whole month. And without putting myself in a legally complicated position, a video that we recently did that we haven't received money back from, because we were sponsored by a company at the beginning of September to go to an auto show in Germany. We normally insist that the company pays out of its pocket for our travel. We don't pay for it directly. In this case, because it was such short notice, we agreed to be reimbursed, but we have not been reimbursed yet, which has left us out of pocket to the tune of $7,000. I don't know if we will be reimbursed, but I know that there are other people in a similar situation. It used to be that YouTube ad revenue paid for our entire payroll. Now it doesn't pay for anything. Really.
I don't know, it pays for the odd packet of chips.
Literally. So now YouTube is no longer giving us money or no longer making us money. We are now 100% really relying on Patreon, plus the occasional ad reads that we do. So October is a triple pay month, and our normal income from Patreon doesn't cover a triple pay month. So I have to scrimp and save for 5 months of the year to make sure that every 6th month we have 3 paychecks worth of money in the bank account. This time around, we had 3 paychecks worth of money, and we had enough money to pay the credit card bill from the trip to Germany, because I'm very, very strict with money. But if this company doesn't reimburse us soon, it's going to be crappy. And we need to push towards 100% Patreon support, because Patreon and other outlets, while Patreon is by no means perfect, it does a lot of stuff that I don't like. And I'm saying that as someone who is technically still a Patreon ambassador. I don't like the way that Patreon is now spamming people. I've told them that. They are aware that our audience don't like it. But supporting us through Patreon allows us to continue to bring in a monthly income that allows us to meet payroll. And our goal is to increase our monthly monthly Patreon donation amounts by about 20 to 40% from what it was at the end of August. So far, we are actually under our target now, because we had some people lose their jobs, and wonderful, amazing people who, for no fault of their own, had to cancel support, not because we said something that offended their God and Savior. Although occasionally we do get someone who does that. But know that if you have to drop your Patreon support through no fault of your own because of, losing your job or whatever, please let me know. Because if it's something that you intend to restart as soon as you can, there are things we can do for our Discord, for example, to make sure that you still have access to those Discord channels, especially if you are a long-term supporter. If you've been supporting TE for 5 years and you lose your job and that's really unfortunate and you have to cut back, let me know, because we'll keep you in the higher tier support because you've supported us for 5 years. I'm just saying that now. Patreon doesn't have a way of doing that at this moment, but I just want everyone to know that, your support really matters. And we met a lovely couple. I met a lovely couple yesterday, and I hope they don't mind me mentioning their name. And they were lovely. They came up and they said hi. I think that was at the second charging stop we stopped at. And they were like, I wasn't sure if I could come and say hello to you. And I'm like, yes, please do. I like saying hello to people, but sometimes I'm neurospicy, but you did it perfectly. Thank you so much. It was Laurie and Dale. I just wanted to make sure I got the name right. And they were lovely and very generous and wonderful. And they are Patreon supporters. So hi, Laurie and Dale. It was great to see you. Yay. If you see me on the road, please come up and say hi. If you see me in the supermarket, I don't mind saying hello to people when I'm out and about and not doing a road trip. Just, be aware that I might be in not working mode. When I'm on a road trip, I'm generally pretty easy to say hi to. You're the same, really, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I will chat with people pretty much any time, but
Boundaries.
But yeah, if I'm not doing work or I'm with my wife, then
Yes, that's the same thing. Yeah.
you may get a less. Not. I'm not going to be unfriendly because I'm generally a friendly human, but
Yes. Yeah.
But also, work is work.
Yes. Yeah. Work is work. So yeah, I'm working today, right? I'm road tripping. That means I'm working. If I'm with my wife and my dogs, or I'm in my garden and you happen to go past, please, it's okay to just wave and say hi. But which I've had a couple of people do. I know there are people who watch this who figured out where I live and wave as they go past, and that's totally okay. Please do not do the slow drive-by as someone in a Tesla did the other day. And please don't stop and park on the driveway and have a full-length conversation with me, which multiple people have now done. That is, again, not okay. I have a couple of people. I have some friends. One of my dear friends in Portland. She's lovely, but it took a while for me to kind of get her to realize that just turning up unexpected is a thing that I don't like. Anybody, not even my family. Even my family turning up unexpected is like, what are you doing here? I did not know that you were coming.
Yeah,
I am not autistic. I just want to reiterate that I am not autistic. You did not come at the allotted time.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never liked people just turning up. So.
No, even friends. It's just like, hey, are you around? Do you mind if I drop by and say hi? That's very different. But yes. Yeah. Very. That's just a no for me. Sure, Jan. Unannounced visits are unacceptable. Yes, they are. They are. Anyway, we just really talked about nothing but everything. It's been fun, Kate. I should probably hit the road pretty shortly. If you are coming to the Bolt EV event, I know some of you are, say hello. And we will do stuff. Not autistic, right? Yeah, I'm not autistic. Not at all. Actually, we've got a few more minutes and we're going to go there. So for those who know, this is definitely off the record, behind the scenes now, which these chats very often are. I've just been officially diagnosed by a doctor in the US as having ADHD, which is such a shock.
I know, we're all stunned.
And I am currently talking to my doctors, plural. Normally ADHD medication would be the way forward, but I have a very unique set of skills that means that it's not safe for me to have most ADHD meds. So I need to work on that and decide whether I'm going to do ADHD meds or just carry on with therapy. The doctor I saw also thought that I had something else. They thought I had OCPD, which doesn't fit based on everything I've read about it, because I've done a lot of research. And my therapist was like, no, you're autistic. You're not OCPD. I met this doctor and I met them twice over the course of like 3 hours and they gave me a diagnosis. But apparently I also tested very high on the autism scale. And in her long, lengthy report, she was like, oh, yes, I think that Miss Gordon-Bloomfield doesn't have this, she has this. And apparently that's common. And looking through Reddits and other groups of people who've had it, and they're like, this is one of the most commonly, apparently autism in women is normally misdiagnosed. I didn't realize this.
Yes, it's super. I mean, I think it's like ADHD used to be a thing that women don't have, and it turns out we do. Did you see Anonymous Tweet's comment? I like that. Yes.
What did it not? It should be called neuro boring or neuro tame. Yes. I hate.
But I would like that because I am neurospicy. So.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, exactly. But I've found myself doing a lot of things, and obviously since these diagnoses came through, I've been working with a therapist, and my therapist is like, yeah, you're autistic and you have ADHD, so you're AUDHD, which is what makes sense to me. And talking to friends and family, that's what they've said as well. And I've now been going through the list, and every now and then I'll catch myself going, that's why I'm such a stickler for, that's why I'm such a stickler for rules. That's why I have to have, like, people can't come over unless I know they're coming over, because that is not their time to come over. And like when we have friends and family over, I try and get to a point where I can be the chef, right? I will be the one to cook, because while I'm cooking, I know what I'm doing and I have a job. There's a significant amount of social anxiety about tomorrow night at this event, because I know there'll be lots of people talking and I tend to talk too much. And then I'm like, no, just give me a job.
yeah.
Neuromundane.
Neuromundane, yeah. I mean, I think that's the thing, is that like when I got my ADHD diagnosis, and I think this is probably familiar to a lot of people who have got diagnosed as an adult, or even as a slightly older adult, as I am now. There has been like when did I get that? Like December last year, and the year afterwards. Like, I mean, I'd still do it. I'm just occasionally like, oh, that now makes sense. Okay. And it's I find it really useful. Like for me, I mean, it's not just because I get drugs, which help, but just I used to be very much more unpleasant to myself about what I perceived as my failings.
Yeah,
And now
I
I'm
ditto.
just like, that's just the brain that I have. This is the way it works. Some things are very obnoxious about that, but some things are really awesome. So,
So, I mean, it's even things like there's an event coming up in a nearby town in Washington this weekend. It's a Mustang Marquee event that I had thought about going to. And to get there, it's like a 4 or 5 hour drive in the truck. And it's supposed to happen on Saturday. Now, we don't get back until late on Friday. And I caught myself going, well, I've said I'm going, so I must go now. And my wife wants to go. And we're like, we'll take the dogs as well, because we've got no one to look after the dogs. We'll take the dogs and drive up and back. I'm really proud of myself, because yesterday I was like, you know what? I'm really effing tired. And I'm going to be even more tired when I come back from this trip. I want to go to name of this place. Let's just say it's in Leavenworth, right? I want to go to Leavenworth with my wife. She's never been. I've been before, and I've done some, we did some fursuiting there. We did a fursuiting at a Christmas event. We had a bunch of performers. We all went out and dressed up as fluffy animals and entertained people. But they do Christmas markets and they do Oktoberfest. It's an alpine town, right? And so I said to my wife yesterday, I really want to go on Saturday, but I don't think I'm going to be up for it. I think what we should do instead is find a nice little place that's dog friendly, go up on the Saturday, stay overnight, come back on a Sunday. And I'm really freaking proud of myself for saying that, because old me would have gone, but I said I was going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I'm like, the only person who suffers in that situation, well, two people, my wife, she suffers because she has to put up with me being really tired and neurospicy, because I get tired. The more tired I get, the more my brain does Nikki things. And then at that point, I'm not going to enjoy it. So I was like, no, I'm going to do this at a different time. Anyway, I'm getting signs that my car is just about charged, because it's cost us $23.55. We've been here 1 hour.
Perfect.
And we have put charging in. Now, that is the longest. I want to reiterate on this trip so far, we've only been stopping for like 30, 40 minutes. And if we hadn't been doing a live stream, we would have done that. But onwards and upwards. And we get to do my favorite piece of the road in California. It's not actually. My favorite is Angel's Crest. But my second favorite, if I have to do a highway in America, my favorite bit is the Grapevine, because the road switches over and for a short period of time I can pretend I'm in England. If you don't know what the Grapevine is, go look it up. It's where the roads cross over because it's easier for the trucks climbing the mountain to be on the wrong side of the road. Mm-hmm. It's been a fun afternoon. Thank you, everybody. It was not afternoon. Fun morning. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for putting up with my slightly disjointed drivel. Kate has been very gracious, and we will see you this time next week or sometime thereabouts for another live stream. And support the channel. Go to patreon.com/Transport Evolved. If we can increase our monthly support by another couple of grand, then I might actually be able to pay myself, which I haven't done for like 4 years.
Yay!
Keep evolving. Finding where it rips. 2 phases.
Slide it up.
Board wheel.
That's the thing.
Keep evolving.